Using a upcycled fabric, I'm going to be making a beautiful waistcoat. This waistcoat will be paired nicely with short knickers, of which the tutorial will be coming up next. Don't go anywhere, watch the video to the end. This was an order for my client and she absolutely loved it. She's ready for summer.
So I'm going to be making the pattern for the waistcoat. So first I'm going to start by ruling a line, and that line would be our shoulder line. So using the shoulder line as a guide, placing my set square like so, I'm going to be ruling the center front line. All right. So I'm going to decide the length I want my waistcoat to be. Proper blouse length of my client is 25 inches. I want this waistcoat to be shorter. However, I'm still going to mark 25 inches because there's going to be some sort of curve at the hem of the waistcoat. Okay. All right. So next thing I'm going to mark is shoulder to bust point or nipple. And I'm also going to mark shoulder to waist, which is 9.5. I'm going to be ruling out. All right, so I have my shoulder line there, I have my bust line, I have my waistline, and then I have the hem of the waistcoat there. So my client shoulder width after dividing into 2 is 8.5. So I'm going to start by drafting the front of the waistcoat. Because I want this waistcoat to be fitted, there's going to be a dart on the waistcoat. So you see as I'm going to impute that. My client's bust is 44 inches. After dividing into 4, we have 11. And I'm going to add a 0.5 for ease because I don't want this waistcoat to be too close to her body. So 11.5 plus a 1 inch sewing allowance, that's 12.5. Coming to the hips, my client's hips is 11.8 after dividing into 4, right? Plus 1 inch sewing allowance, that's 12.8. So I'll just bring it to 13 for ease. So I'm going to connect from the bust to the hips like that. Then I'm going to come in by 1 inch at the waistline. My client's waist is 40 inches. I'm going to see how much we have here after taking in the 1 inch on the waistline. So I have about 11.8 inches here. I think this is okay, but I'm still going to take out a little for the dart of about 0.5 inch. Remember, I don't want this to be too fitted on my clients. Her bust distance is 4 after dividing into 2. Her bust distance is 8. That's across nipple, nipple to nipple. So divided into 2 is 4. So I just marked 4 on both the bust line, the waistline, and the hem so that it will guide me to rule a straight line. I'm going to impute a side dart here. So the side dart is going to be the difference between the front body's length and the back body's length. So my client's front body's length is 19.5 and her back body's length is 15.5. So the difference between 19 and 15.5 is 4 inches. So coming on the bust line here, I'm going to mark 4 inches on the side like so. And then from the bust point, which is where her nipple is, we're going to be coming out by 2.5 inches. From that mark, I'll connect it to the dart leg there at the side, just like so. Let's get to the shoulder. Remember, her shoulder width is 8.5 after dividing into 2. So I want this waistcoat to have a neck of 4 inches. The V-neck will also come down as low as 8 inches. 4 in width and 8 in length. And then I'm going to be slanting the shoulder by 1 inch. Her arm side depth, which is the length of her armhole, is going to be 8 inches. And of course, what I'm doing here is just marking her shoulder width there so I can have a straight line. So that is our arm side depth. So to make all for the armhole, I'm going to find the mid, which is about 4 inches, and then I'm going to come in by 1 inch. Let me do this freehand without using the curve. So you can sometimes eyeball this if you don't have your tools close by. So I just make a curve coming from the tip of the shoulder like that to that 1 inch mark there at the mid, and then I bring it in to the base of the arm side depth just like that. And then I'm going to be connecting our bust in a straight line upwards towards the armhole. The thing we're going to do is we're going to impute that dart I told you that we would impute on the waistline, just for fit, for nice shape, but not to necessarily make it fitted at the waist. All right, so from the nipple, the bust point, I'm going to be coming down by 2 inches. So I'll connect that 2 inches mark to the dart leg. And then also from the hem, I'm going to mark another 2 inches and connect from the dart leg to the 2 inches mark towards the hem. So there you have it. So next I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be adjusting the shape of our waistcoat, right? So I said I would like it to be 25 inches in length. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here on the side by 3 inches. Then here where I have my dart, here where I have, the bust distance marked out, which is 4 inches from center front, after dividing her bust distance into 2. I'm going to bring this point to that point. And then coming to the center front also, I'm going to mark another 3 inches. And then I'm going to bring to this point. There's no hard and fast rule, guys. It depends on the shape I'm looking to get. If I look at it and I think, oh, I want this to look a lot more sharper and I like the difference between this and this to be, that's what I would do, okay? Fashion designing is like any other creative art. It's you who decides how you want things to look. So there is no copy and paste per se, except you want to have exactly the same look. So let me explain to you what I mean. So you see what I've done there. Now between this first look and the second look, I think I prefer the second look more, right? So I'm going to be going with the second look, and I'm going to scrap this out. All right, so next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be adjusting the shoulders. Now, you know that this is her normal shoulder width, right? Assuming I was going to make a sleeve for her, this is the shoulder width I will work with, okay? But because this is a waistcoat and this is sleeveless, I would like the shoulder width to come in by 1 inch away from the tip of her shoulders, right? And then from that 1 inch mark, I'm just going to blend this to meet the armhole, okay? So it means I'm not going to be working with this. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to impute zip and button allowance or allowance for the buttons here. So I'm going to use 1.5. So the 0.5 there is what we're going to use as our sewing allowance to face the center front. Of the day when we are done, we're going to have actually just 1 inch for the button allowance. We're not working with big buttons, we're working with average size buttons, so 1 inch would do. So let me repeat myself so there's no confusion. The 1.5 I just did here is the button allowance, but the 0.5 in the 1.5 is what we're going to use to face the center front, right? So we'll end up having just 1 inch remaining for the buttons when we're done. Okay, so this is what the front looks like. Very easy. If you're confused at this point, just go back to the beginning of the video and watch each step again. And I would advise that when you're practicing the making of this pattern, you also do it alongside with the video. Follow the steps and understand why I am doing what I am doing, so that you're not just copying and pasting. You're working with the exact body measurement of your client or your model without copying or lifting what I'm doing here for my clients. All right, so we're done with the front, so we're going to draft the back now. Before we go into making the back pattern for the waistcoat, we will want to take note of the distance between the waistline here and the mark on the side. This is our waistline, and here we want to take note of this because we will want our back body's length to have the same length as this, not one longer than the other. Okay, so from the waistline to there is about 2.6 inches. Okay, so I'll just take note of this, 2.6 inches, right? You also bear that in mind. You're going to see where I'm going to impute this 2.6 inches as I'm making the back pattern. Okay, so the edge of my paper here is very straight. Okay, so this edge is actually going to serve as my center back, right? So using that edge as a guide, I will place my set square, and I'm going to rule a straight line horizontally. So that would be our shoulder line. Now remember that the back body's length of my client is 15.5. So I'm going to mark 15.5. Her shoulder to bust point is 13. I'm going to mark 13. I'm doing the same thing here, so I can just have points to guide me to make a straight line. Okay, now you remember that 2.6 inches that I measured from the waist to the hem of the front? This is where I'm going to impute it. From the waist to the hem of the back as well needs to be 2. So I just made multiple points there just to guide me to get a straight line. So that is the full length of our back body's length. Let me take it back pattern rather, not back body's length. So that's about 18 inches. So we're going to go ahead to impute the shoulder width, which remember is 8.5. Then the width of our neck hole, remember, was 4. We're going to use 1 inch to slant the shoulder. We're going to be dropping the neck line at the back by 1 inch. Using a curved ruler, we're going to make the curve of the neck at the back. Our arm side depth is 8 inches. I'm just marking my shoulder width out here, so I'm sure I'm going to get a straight line. I'll find the mid of the armhole, the arm side depth, and then I'm going to mark 0.5. So once again, freehand, I'm connecting from the tip of the shoulder to that 0.5 mark, and then I'll bring it down to the arm side depth. Hands bust is 11 after dividing by 4, and then we added 0.5 for ease. So we have 11.5 plus 1 inch sewing allowance, so that's 12.5. And then my client's waist is 10 inches. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to contour my center back. So from the center back, I'm going to come in by 0.5. And then from that 0.5 mark, I'm going to be marking 10 plus 1 inch for sewing allowance, which is 11. And then my client's hip is 11.8. But let's bear in mind that this jacket is not going to be getting to our hip line. I'm only using that as a guide, right? So I'm going to be marking 11.8. 11.8. Then plus 1 inch sewing allowance. So this waistcoat is going to be kind of loose on her. Go up to the arm side depth in a straight line. Also, I'm going to contour center back, just like so. just like that, because we all know that the back of a human body is not straight. There's a curve following the curve of the backbone. All right, so we are done and we're going to cut out our patterns now. Okay, so you remember that we went in by 1 inch from the tip of the shoulder because we don't want the shoulders to be as wide as it would have been if we were going to be inserting the sleeve. So since this is sleeveless, we have gone in by 1 inch, and then we are going to blend this into the armhole, and then we'll cut off the excess. Okay, so I just want to call your attention to how I usually cut the side of my pattern when I have a side dart. So I'm going to pick one leg of the side dart, just like so, and take it over to the other leg of the side dart. And then this is what it will look like once you're done cutting. So guys, I'm not using a proper pattern cutting paper here. To save cost, I'm using what we call gum stay or paper stay in our market. It's an interfacing. It's like paper. There is a medium textured one. You know, we have the very hard one and the very soft one. So this is the medium one. All right. To save cost, I use this to draft my patterns instead of buying pattern papers, which are a lot more expensive. So one disadvantage is that when you roll your lines, especially when you're using a sharp pen as this, right? When I'm rolling lines, it tends to cut into the paper, right, and tear the paper at the line. So I don't know if you can notice this, right? So that's the disadvantage. So I tend to always have to use my paper tape to close up wherever threatens to be tearing or falling apart. All right, so this is our front pattern for the waistcoat, and this is our back pattern for the waistcoat. Now remember that I have sewing allowance at center front, sewing allowance in the side seams, okay? But I did not include sewing allowance at the hem, at the armhole, at the shoulder, and at the neckline. Pardon me, guys. For those who are beginners, I would learn to always do all of this on the pattern so that you don't get lost, okay? But this allowance, I'm going to be adding them to my fabrics. There's no confusion here, guys. As I'm cutting on the fabric, I would explain again what I have just said. Remember this fabric? So this is what we're going to be using to make the waistcoat, which is going to be going with the shorts we had posted earlier on, okay? If you haven't seen that video tutorial on how to make shorts, please go and watch it. Okay, so I'm going to be rather cutting directly on the lining first, because from observation, we've noticed that the Ankara fabric tends to stretch. So this lining will be our guide. So we know when the Ankara fabric has stretched out of the fit we want. So we would use the lining as a guide to adjust. So I'm going to be cutting directly on the lining first. So I'll start out by cutting the front. So remember, I said we do not have a hemming allowance. So I'm imputing 0.5 for that at the hem of the waistcoat. But we have a side seam allowance. So I'll cut exactly what I have on my pattern here. I would also include 0.5 sewing allowance for the armhole and 0.5 sewing allowance for the shoulders. Same thing to the neckline, 0.5. And then at center front, I had already imputed the allowance to turn the brackets. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be transferring my dart from pattern to fabric. So to do this, I'm going to be using pins. So I'm going to put a pin there at the dart eye. Make sure it comes out at the bottom of the fabric like that. I'm going to put another one on the other dart eye. All the points of the dart, I'm going to be using pin to leave landmarks so that I don't have to repeat the making of these darts on the fabric. It just transfers directly from pattern to fabric. So for the side dart, I'm going to quickly notch the leg of the dart. Just tiny snip. So you can see the dart legs there. You can see the pins indicating where my dart should go. So using my chalk now, I'm going to trace out my dart. So that's the side dart there, and then the waist dart. Side dart, the waist dart. So I'll repeat the same thing to the other side. We're done cutting the back. Remember, we do not have any dart at the back. So using this now, we're going to cut the main fabric. So we're done cutting the back. So we're going to go ahead and cut the front. Now that I'm done cutting, I'm going to also transfer the dart from the lining to the main fabric as I did from pattern to the lining. So I'm going to be using pins for this. So there you can see the darts.
So we went on to use interfacing all around the edges of the lining, and then we're going to go ahead to join center back, after which we're going to join the shoulders and of course also sew up the side seams. What is done to the lining would also be done to the main fabric. We'll close center back with 0.5. We're going to sew up the shoulders. The shoulder seam is 0.5, and of course the side seam, which is 1 inch. So we're done. We've closed up the side seam with 1 inch. As you can see, we've closed up the shoulder with 1/2 inch. So same thing was also done to the main fabric. So now we are going to go up and close center back with 0.5. Same thing will be done to the lining. So I just thought to show you that we have closed up the side, done the shoulders, ironed it out. Same thing was done to the main fabric. So we head to the machine now to turn the center front with the lining and also clean up or sew up the hem. So everything was neatly done, making sure that we have no side seam showing. That is, you're going to look into the inside of this jacket and you would not see the side seam, such that you can almost wear the wrong side of the jacket and no one would notice. You will see the finished look shortly. Guys, this is very easy to make. Just follow these steps. Of course, this tutorial was not quite designed for beginners, but if you have basic sewing skill, I'm sure you could follow through. There you have it. The jacket is ready. Look at the inside I talked about. Everything is clean and neat. Well pressed, well ironed, clean finishing. So we're going to go on now to make buttonholes and install buttons to the jacket, and then you'll be seeing the finished look.